Vice President Miketi, Minister of Foreign Affairs Malcora, Minister Bennett, distinguished government officials, guests, and most of all, the families of those we lost. One of the reasons the World Jewish Congress chose Buenos Aires for our plenary session this year was to help Argentina right a terrible wrong. Actually, not one wrong, but three wrongs, three outrageous acts of terror against Jews, and the long overdue justice that the world demands. We all know the facts. The world Jewish community and good people everywhere were outraged when the Israeli embassy at this very spot here in Buenos Aires was bombed in 1992. Diplomatic community and the protection of foreign embassies has been the cornerstone of international diplomacy for hundreds of years. So it wasn't just Israel, it wasn't just Argentina, but the entire civilized world was violated by this attack. Argentina's Supreme Court of Justice said it was Hezbollah in Iran that committed this crime. That's not me saying this, it's from the Supreme Court of Justice. Then, just 2 years later, a second bombing aimed directly at the Jewish community at Amia took even more lives in 1994. These crimes were compounded by the extreme lack of interest demonstrated by successive governments in Argentina. And then, just last year, both crimes were compounded by yet another outrage. Alberto Nisman, the government's brave prosecutor, who took it upon himself to stand up to the injustice, to right the wrongs of his country, died under very mysterious circumstances before he could testify. 2 days ago, I reminded President Macri that these were not just crimes against Jews. The bombings were crimes against all of Argentina and the good people everywhere. But the killing of Albert Nisman was an attack on the entire legal system of Argentina. And when the legal system of a country is destroyed, that country has serious problems. So now, in a country where these injustices have continued for a quarter of a century, can we explain the outrage of a man like Alberto Nisman? This kind of bravery is rare. Most men would put their own safety first before the higher ideals of justice. But there are a few individuals in this world, a very few, who put the greater good of their country before themselves. That was Alberto Nisman. Yesterday, I met his daughter, Laura. It broke my heart to see such a young girl who will not have her father at home for dinner, at school events, and at her wedding. The Jewish people are small in number, and we have suffered a lot. Because of this, we care for each other deeply. The World Jewish Congress and all Jews everywhere stand with Israel and with the Jewish community of Argentina. To some, it may sound strange that there are people throughout the world who will never set foot in Argentina, but are deeply touched by these tragedies. But not to Jews. That's because Judaism is based on laws and justice, and we will not rest until there is justice in all three cases. We are encouraged by Argentina's new president, President Macri, who promised 2 nights ago that there will finally be justice. We trust the president. We are hopeful he will do the right thing. And if there's anything the World Jewish Congress can do to help this, if anything the World Jewish Congress can do to help this, you'll have our support. You have my promise until then. We will remember the people who died here, and we will not rest until there is justice. Thank you.